Average at best. Average at best. Average at best. Don't underestimate my skills. I'm not making up nothing, and that's real. Average at best. Average at best. Average at best. Don't underestimate my skills. I'm not making up nothing, and that's real. They told you that you were second best. That's why you can't rest. It's all just a test, like you will never flex. Let your mind stay rich and your heart stay gold. You don't have to be a trophy. You a story untold.
Hello, everybody, and I am so excited to introduce my new project. My name is Jacqueline Bones, and I am known as Nurse Jackie. I do have a lot of family and friends that have been following me for quite some time. When I first started my business here in Houston, Texas, about 3 to 4 years ago, most people know me for doing the COVID testing, doing the monoclonal antibodies, and various things like that. Then I decided to go into the beauty aspect of everything, so the beauty world. And so I opened up an office and kind of transitioned into doing more of like body shaping, body sculpting, holistic shaping and things like that, helping people with weight loss. So during that transition, with all of my years of nursing, I started to notice a trend. And although this podcast that I'm introducing to everyone that is called Simply Average Extra Real, to where I want to introduce to everyone some truths that have actually been withheld and some truths that people have kind of fallen for, that I really feel like that is really going to help people overall. So while this channel is for everyone, my channel is geared more towards women, because that's typically who I work with in the office, is mainly women. So I have 2 younger sisters. I'm the oldest in my family, and I am the oldest, and I have 3 younger sisters, and they are all older. I think the oldest one is probably about 25 or 26. I tend to forget, his birthdays roll around, and all of them are unmarried. And I also have a son. My son is 24 years old. He'll be 25 this year. And just kind of listen to some of his experiences out here in the dating world, and just kind of seeing exactly what's going on, is that I feel like this is a very important topic to discuss. So I kind of sat down and put everything together as far as my years of nursing, the stories that I've been told, me working in my own business as a nursepreneur and working with people more closely without the structure of a hospital, and also with my family and friends and listening to a lot of their relationship woes. And I came up with this great idea of Simply Average Extra Real, where we sit down and we talk about real things. Right now, social media is filled with the Instagram baddies, and everybody's trying to have this aesthetic, and everybody wants to be a 10. And most people know about red pill content. Now, I started consuming red pill content about 3 to 4 years ago, because again, I have a son that's out there in the dating market, and I just kind of wanted to see what was being discussed and what people were talking about. And my eyes were open. I was a heavy consumer of Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. Some of the things that he was telling women that really wanted to settle down and get married, and some of the things that he was telling the women on his podcast. And I quickly realized why he was so popular. Whether people liked him or hated him, he actually did have some stories, and he actually did tell a little bit of the truth. And so hence again, taking all of these things and all of these environmental things I'm seeing and I'm being exposed to, what people are talking about, that I decided that people really do need an avenue, or people really do need to be told the truth. We're at that time where people are starting to wake up from the matrix. Now, I'm not going to talk about going down the rabbit hole on the podcast and conspiracy theories, but I do feel like that we are at a point to where people eyes are awake and they're realizing some of the untruths that they may not have been told. I do want to go through a part of this that, I know certain things you can't say on podcasts, but I did work as a nurse in the hospitals in Dallas and here in Houston during the pandemic. And I think part of the delusion and part of why people want to be told the truth, right, being extra real, is because a lot of things are coming out of what really happened during the pandemic, things that were going on behind the scenes. And I must tell you that some of the things that you may hear are absolutely the truth. Again, I want to keep this podcast with my mission, and my mission is really to help people, your mental, spiritual, and physical. And so what we're going to do on this channel is that we're going to focus on all three aspects, because that makes you who you are. I'm going to talk about some of the things I've experienced as a nurse. I did hospice for about 2 years. Some of the experiences that people have gone through, some of the things people have told me, some of the things that they have regretted that they didn't get to do while they're here at the end of life. And I'm hoping that as I go through some of my experiences as a nurse and try to relate those to real world experiences, and I invite guests on that are wanting to be transparent and actually tell people the truth, that in that truth we find love for ourselves. I think everything really starts with us. Just in all of the things that I've dealt with and all of the people I've talked to, I just think that a lot of the things that transpire in life, that whether it's good or bad, that everything starts with self. And so that's kind of what I want to focus on. So this is my new project. This is something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to put a lot of effort into this and making sure that I'm bringing great content to anyone that's willing to listen, that's really going, that I guess this channel is going to be for women who are really ready to grow. And it's not necessarily talk about men and talk about all of those things, but everything really starts with us.